Which that was the moment when not only my life financially changed, but also my whole aspect of like how the world actually works. Because if you really understand what is actually going on inside this world, then you will understand the markets better as well. And that was a huge change for me, and I pretty much walked on pretty much from there on and did improvements over improvements literally from there on for years and years and years. And I pretty much become like a lone wolf in that sense and just really, yeah, ticked everything into my trading career. There was never plan B, never ever since I left university very early on. So never like an option to do something else than that. And that's very pretty much why I'm here, where I pretty much am, right? And then after like a while, I met the wizard JP, right? And as you obviously heard in his introduction, he is one of the best in the world in programming, machine learning approaches, artificial intelligence, and we worked together for so many different stuffs and actually created so many full automated trading systems and techniques and just building businesses in the process. We now even funded like our own new company solely based around building AI approaches, building machine learning progresses, and so on and so forth. We can tell you a little bit later early on. And that also give us this huge advantage in pretty much in the trading side. Because if you have all this knowledge about the data, you will understand the markets better as well. Because think about it. If someone teaches you smart money concepts or whatsoever, what do? You need to go into the charts and actually backtest it yourself. But if you do the programming route and actually get all the data and all the knowledge about these numbers and facts, you will have a way better understanding of what is actually going on. And that gives you way better knowledge about everything, right? And that's why we pretty much went this route for like a few years now, right? But obviously after that, the journey continued, partnered up with WWA, right? Spent a lot of time in their community. And what we pretty much did inside the community, because there's obviously a lot of people that want to improve, want to get to the next level as well, and obviously still wanted to reach way higher than they could. And that's why we spent like an 8-month process of giving people more market facts, more rule sets, more guidelines, more checklists, more techniques, and everything. And over this 8-month period of time, we pretty much created liquidity inducement theorem, right? Because what I did in the past, I called my stuff liquidity inducement theories, right? But now with lit, it's not a theories anymore, right? Because not even myself doing it very professional now. Obviously JP, obviously the WWA educators, and also hundreds of students. So now the theory obviously became the theorem, which is a proven fact, right? So after that, of course, it's not over there, right? But first our mission. Of course, like we just wanted to become something way more than just another educational companies. Because as you already know, there's a lot of educational companies out there, and we just wanted to make stuff very different. And we're pretty much doing. So we will show you some later. So you obviously can see it yourself a little bit better. But yeah, what we do is just a very different approach to everyone in this industry. And that's obviously why our stuff is very different as well. But to make the shortcut a little bit more, time to look into the future, because we all technically are already there. And what we have planned with Flit goes again so much further of like the normal educational side. So I let the wizard himself give you just a quick summary about what is actually going on. So JP, if you want to give them the future actually about Lit and what we're planning and what we're doing, that would be awesome.
Yeah, awesome, guys. So you need to understand that we are already here with most of the implementations. So I'll describe where we are heading as well and where we currently are in terms of our approaches with the technology that we have. So essentially we have Sensei, which is a tool that we use on Discord. And he's basically our, we like to call virtual mentor. He assists us with our ranking system on our Discord community. So our ranking system is based off of XP. And it's quite an innovative system because people really enjoy the gamification process and they get to level up. And as they learn more and more, they actually get a new rank. So we took inspiration from the martial arts environment. So we start people off on white belts, and they get to work up to blue belts. And Sensei actually announces these, and we'll give you like a little sneak peek of what these certificates look like. But as you rank up, you actually start to get more and more knowledge, because we can easily identify that you have more understanding, right? So yeah, so he even helps us with homework analysis, and gives additional XP for those who take trades, and rewards those that actually put in the work, right? And that's why we created a gamification process, as you can see the little joystick, all built around our XP system, ranking system, and we even have like a little something. And you see the pause going? It's the Lit app. So the Lit app even has gamification within there to improve your trading dramatically. So what's actually in there is a little simulation and prediction game where you can try and get the lowest score or highest score that you can achieve. And there's leaderboards that you can verse your peers from. And on top of that, we even have a little additional challenge that we started with our students called the EDMC. And it's obviously a little private challenge that we have right now, but the winner gets a supercar for the weekend. I mean, that's pretty awesome, right? And as we go, we end up at the vaults. So as you can see, there's this big ass wheel with like, a turnstile. And the vault is something that's never ever been done in our industry before. And not even in our industry, but in all the industries at large. So what we did here, we tried to solve a problem because we knew our students wanted on-demand video from the recordings that we do for our boot camp and community calls that we try and do every Sunday. And we actually created this vault to store our recorded content and distribute it out towards our students. And there's actually a secure encryption layer that allows us to see if this content is distributed, who distributed it, and how. And it's very prone to compression. So yeah, we even tested we had a couple of students that tried to break it, and it's impossible to break. So I'm very happy with that. And I'm happy that our current community is seeing such great results, because now they get to watch the content in their own time. So as you can see, the little bunny is here now, and this is where we're going. So we have already started building the base of this architecture, if you will, and it's all based off of AI. So AI is a very broad topic. I'm going to keep it broad for now to keep it a mystery. But essentially, we creating a base model that is pretty much based off of Rain's methodologies. And this model is actually one of its kind in the world, and it's an automated trading model, right? But not only that, it also houses all our knowledge. That's a knowledge database. And it uses natural language processing, so you can actually talk to Sensei through the AI models as a virtual mentor. So if we're maybe not replying within 2 hours, you can definitely use Sensei. And let's say it's late at night and you want a trading companion, you're more than welcome to speak to him, and he would actually reply back to you with the correct methodology and knowledge that we actually talk about in our boot camps. And if we go on, you will find that it's all built into a singular platform. And what is this platform? Well, simply it's the Lit app. But it's actually much larger than that. This platform will allow you to create automated trading systems, even from trading methodologies which is not lit. It does this by you feeding simple trades to it, and it analyzes your trades every time you take it. And after time, it starts mimicking you. So it's extremely powerful stuff. And when it starts mimicking you, it starts doing something we call semi-automated trading. And it would predict and analyze trades in the future and do recommendations on the trades that you can take, and it will even alert you. So you could be asleep and then all of a sudden, it wakes you up and it's like, hey, you need to take this trade. And beyond that, as you confirm these trades with this model, you can actually make it fully automated. Isn't that wonderful, right? And you work on even better methodologies while you make even more money on the side, right? Exponentially increasing your wealth. And that's extremely powerful because we're going to break the entire industry. I mean, I'm extremely excited about that. I think you should be too. So
Yeah, that's definitely, and that's something we're not wanting to do, but that's something we're currently working on like for a while. So that's obviously nothing to waffles, but it's actually something we're doing. So that needs to be said as well, Ryan.
Definitely. And the amazing thing is our students get access to this. So if you're a current student that's paid 3 months ago, or you're an upcoming student that's going to pay tonight, right? You're going to get this. So it's no add-on or anything like that. It is what we're building is what you get. And the great thing is you will be even part of the pre-alpha and pre-beta phases. So you can even test this new technology before it even exists. I mean, that's such a blessing. And our students know this. And, they have said such amazing things to us. So if we go to the next slide, here's just some of those things.
Yeah, I mean, you can read through it if you have time, obviously, yourself. Obviously, it's the most important thing that students are happy. And also, like, Trustpilot review, they lead so many reviews because they're just thinking it's too good to be true and stuff like that. But yeah, obviously, students are happy, and that's all about the end of the day. That's the most important thing anyways, right? And also, we have so many rankings inside our community, like, as of course, like the belt system JP spoke about, right? You get like certificates inside the community and just having some fun and whatsoever. But yeah, let's just move into the stuff which is obviously we're here, is obviously trading, because obviously our students are just dominating the markets pretty much day in and day out, right? So obviously we want to show you some stuff about trading. So pretty much, I guess you're ready to learn something lit, right? So that's why you're here. That's obviously why we want to show you some trading stuff, right? So what you will learn, obviously you got some very, very good insights about pretty much what is going on inside its liquidity inducement theorem in general. You have some backgrounds now, but obviously want to share you some stuff as well. So pretty much we show you how to pretty much you need to awake out of the metrics first in order to actually get something done inside the markets and have a better understanding, and pretty much why retailers or why retail concepts don't really work that efficient. Right? What is also liquidity? Why smart money is the new retail concept? What is order flow imbalances, supply demand, the basic stuff? Why the hype? No, seriously, like where does the hype come from? It's like crazy if you think about that. That's just normal stuff. Like where's this hype even coming from? And then of course we need to adapt or die. It's simple as that. If you're trading like everyone else does, what do you expect? It's just you cannot be mediocre and get like extraordinary results. You need to adapt. That's the true reality here. So first, actually like dig into the fundamentals, which is what is actually money. Okay, so that's a specific topic which not a people want to talk about, which is definitely still very, very important. So what is money actually, right? So money is nothing else than an illusion. So why is it an illusion? If you think truthfully about it, what's the difference between a $1 bill and a $100 bill? The answer is nothing. It's two zeros are the difference. With the one you can buy a cheeseburger at McDonald's, with the other one you can whatever get your girlfriend to a fancy candlelight dinner. It's simply the same. You're paying with the same piece of paper, but it gives you so much more things. And it's way further than that. If you're earning 20 hours or $20 an hour and you buy a new whatever for $200, that's not $200 for you. That is literally 10 hours of your life. So you need to realize that money is actually nothing more that is pretty much engineered to maintain one single thing, which is actually control. Okay, and a lot of people don't want to accept that. It doesn't make a difference if you run from the truth or whatsoever. You need to first understand that it's actually the reality in the world. Because if you're working in a month and getting whatever salary, let's say you're getting 5K a month for whatever you do, maybe you don't even like what you're doing, And these guys in control, they pressing one little button for 1 nanosecond and they create the same exact money you're earning this month. Like, what the hell? It's all about control, and you need to start realizing that. And that's obviously how these markets really work. It's all control. And if you don't believe that, you will have a very, very hard time reaching very great numbers, because that's the foundational fact you need to understand. Okay, so pretty much, who are they though? Like, who are they which are in control and actually printing the money as well? Of course, you will have a lot of reasons and a lot of talks about that. And overall, you need to understand like how they keep you inside this illusion, right? Of course, it's all based first of all about emotions. You know the saying, trading the market is 90% actually emotionally. And if you think about that, it's so true, because you attach, or your pretty much emotions are attached to money, of course. And if you're putting your money on the line and at the markets, emotions will mess with you big time, right? That's why you need to understand the true reasons what's really going on. And it's very important to understand also that they make you excited, they induce this fear of missing out, they give you like fear, they give you every type of emotion you could imagine inside these markets, and every single one of you inside here knows about that. It's just very, very important to really understand it, because they did it back pretty much when there was no crypto. So they did it 24/5, like every single day. Now there's crypto, so they do it even 24/7. How can they do this though? They need some tools and everything in order to actually deliver it inside these markets, because the chart doesn't print itself. They need to actually put these charts there. And that's how retail strategies are actually created. It always sounds crazy, but that's just the truth. And again, I'll just say it again, if you don't want to believe that, you will have a little bit harder times and will have a way easier time if you really accept this and just move forward from that and try to make the best out of that. Okay. Also though, again, who are they? Right? To learn about them in our full bootcamp, of course, and how we use their manipulations and their understanding, pretty much looking at their screens to understand what is actually going on. Of course, we show you everything in the more advanced side of it. But for now, right? So how do you exit actually this type of cycle, right? Because you wanted to get out, and there's of course a choice. And it's just time to wake up and realize what is actually going on and make the best out of that. So how do you do it? Of course, you're all here because you're trading, and trading forex is of course one of those ways. It all starts with the right knowledge, with the right understanding of things, and then you can build everything upon that. So knowledge is not power, of course. Knowledge is the potential of power. So now we will give you the actually potential, and so you pretty much can build a nice foundation about anything. Because you know all the stuff, how we trade. This is how we trade inside Lit. Myself, JP, obviously the educators inside, and also the students, right? So this should be your actually goal. You saw me trading like that a lot of times, and I have hundreds of days where I have exactly days like this, okay? But in order to trade like this, or to get to this level, or even consider trade like that, you need a solid foundation first. That's the most important thing, because without a solid foundation, it will not work. Okay, so in order, if you can't fly, then just run, right? But if you can't run, then just walk. And if you can't walk, then just crawl. The most important thing is that you just move forward. It doesn't matter what pace, you just need to move. And if you're not there yet in your trading journey, it's not a big issue, because it's just, as it says, a journey. It's a marathon and not a sprint. So it will take time, of course, but at least move forward and learn and keep improving. And then, of course, at some stage, you're going this route and then this route, and at some stage, you're there, right? So that's obviously where we want to get you. And this is obviously why you give you some stuff today, okay? So, first of all, no worries, we got your back. Doesn't matter like what happens to you. As you see, we make sure that you will not break your neck right away. So you're welcome. So we got your back. Okay, so we will show you some stuff. So here's all the foundations you will need in order to build a pretty mansion, or build an actually good trading foundational knowledge. Okay, so what is it all about? We made something very, very special for you. So we call it the pre-lit basic master map. Why is it the lit or the pre-lit basic master map? Because that stuff definitely will build a huge, nice foundation for yourself in order to actually have a good knowledge about the market, and then you can build something really, really nice upon it. Okay, so as you can see, you're this little boat in here. You want to get a basic entry. By basic entry, I mean obviously not the stuff I be trading day in and day out, but at least a very solid, at least 1 to 5, 1 to 10 risk reward, easily achievable with the method I just showed you. Okay, it's very simple stuff, nothing really that much crazy, but it's in order to accomplish that, you build your like this map. Okay, so first you need to start with supply and demand, the very most easiest concept there is. You just know about it. So you're obviously having a range or a consolidation side of it. Can look like this. It can look like more of the continuation route. It can look very, very different. It can be big. It can be a little bit smaller, or it also can just be like a little impulse like this. Okay, this is also considered like supply and demand, of course, right? So you have these different scenarios that can be a range. Supply turns into demand. Of course, you would always expect these zones to get refilled, right? It's very important to understand that these supply and demand zones, they will always come back to these zones, right? So first you need to understand these supply and demand zones, right? The moment you got that, imbalances is the next valid step you need to do, because these supply and demand zones are very big usually. And now you need to refine them, and you need to do that, and you achieve that with imbalances. So what is the imbalance? The market needs to be efficiency or fairly, they call it fairly delivered, and that's why they need to come back and fill these little gaps. So you can see this wick and this wick, they're not connected, and this is called the imbalance, right? And the market needs to be fairly delivered. That's why they're coming back to the zones all the time in order to fill or deliver price fairly, and that's why they're closing these imbalances all the time, right? So if you're doing this stuff inside a bigger demand zone or supply zone, as you can see here, you're having a bit of supply or demand zone, and then you refine it actually, and with this imbalances zone, now you're out of a sudden, you have a much smaller range you should focus on, and that obviously refines the whole zone. Okay, so just delete that and we can move forward. After doing that, we have to know the basic stuff about continuation and reversal sides to it. So as you know, we have this demand and supply zones. Now also what you have imbalances, and now you need to know if it's a continuation or reversal. How can a continuation look? Obviously easy stuff like that. If you have a continuation, right? So you see the trend forming, you have forming this demand and supply zone, right? What does the market do? It comes back to tap the zone, right? The same thing with reversal. We'll show you some reversal stuff later, but this is all the stuff you need. You just find the demand zones or supply zones, and then obviously you expect market to come back to them. Okay, very, very easy stuff. But what you do then, you just combine it with the imbalances to make it even more accurate, because you know the market should come back to these demand zones, right? In the continuation pretty much cycle and also reversal cycle. Now you're just adding inside this again the imbalances, and you will get smaller zones, which are definitely way more accurate and can limit your stop loss significantly. Okay, so what's the next thing? Then you add multiple time frames to the whole thing, right? So you're obviously seeing the same thing on the 1 hour. Then you're having your supply or demand zone. Then you're breaking it down to smaller time frames. You're doing the same exact thing. You're seeing this zone is whatever the 1 hour. Then you're having your normal pattern type of thing in the 5 minute. Then you're having the same exact thing in the 5 minute here. And you're breaking it down to the 1 minute with this imbalances again. Now all of a sudden, you found a bigger bias, broke it down to slower time frames, and just keep on doing like that. Okay, and this is pretty much how you use multiple time frames in bigger zones and just break it down. And you can even break this zone down into then the seconds time frames and so on and so forth. So it's a never-ending cycle, obviously, until you cannot go lower anymore. But that's just a very, very easy and powerful guidance, right? So then you can add structure to the whole thing. And by the way, it's always the steps. You always start with this step, then you do this step, then you do this step, then you go this one, and then this one, and so on and so forth, right? So what's the next step in line? Structure basics. So what is structure basics? You need to understand what a main push is, and what internal structure is and what minor internal structure is. So as you can see, this is the main push in here. Everything that's included in this push, you see it here in purple, that is called an internal structure, okay? And as you can see here inside this little push in red, that's inside or whatever included inside this range, and this becomes the minor internal structure, right? So you need to understand the differences here in order to get POIs or points of interest out of it later, okay? But you need to understand this as well. So main push, everything included in here is called the internal structure, and then you can do the same thing over and over again. So if you're in the 1 minute chart, this one would be the 1 minute structure and whatsoever, right? So what you can do with that one, we will show you obviously in the next steps. First though, you need to understand the order flow next. Okay, you see, we're just building everything upon each other. So you're having all these guidelines to actually follow, and you can get the bigger reach of getting to the basic entry. But you can see it's already a lot of stuff you need to follow in order to get there. Next thing is a simple order flow mitigation. As you know now, these demand zones whatsoever, they will always come back and mitigate them. Come back, make a new higher high, mitigate them, same thing in a different direction. Very, very easy stuff, very efficient if you know where to look at them. So you're taking the same thing, doing it in multiple time frame analysis. So if this is the 1 hour, you expect this in a lower time frame. It's the same exact thing, just broke down inside a smaller perspective. Okay, so then the next thing you're doing is again, same thing. As you can see, the first continuation reversal patterns. Now you're getting the second one because you're combining a lot of stuff as well. So the next thing you're doing, continuation reversal. As you can see, you're already having structure included, and you're getting something like called break of structures. Okay, these break of structures give you guidance in order to know if it's like continuation or reversal. As you can see here, this push is the main push. Okay, everything inside here is internal structure. You don't really care. Now you're having your first internal structure break. So break of structure, but still internal. And now finally, you have another break of structure, but now it's a main one, right? So there's a continuation. Obviously reversal, if you're coming from a buy trend, whatsoever, long trend, bullish trend, right? So what are you getting? Break of this main push in here. You're getting finally the break of structure, and this can confirm also a reversal. Now you're finding just your demand zones, right? And guess what you should do next? Implant it in balances zone. All of a sudden, you have a valid zone in here, right? So of course, we're doing even way more than that. So next thing, we're adding liquidity. As you probably noticed already, liquidity is very, very important, and it's getting a huge, huge important aspect to trading as well. And what is liquidity? Liquidity in general, if you typed it in Google, it's already funny that it says even from finances, right? It also says liquid asset or the cash or the high volume that pretty much is available inside the market. So essentially, it's all the money that moves through the market, okay? This includes all the money that also sitting in the market waiting to be liquidated. So that also means it can be reasons. So if there's a reason in order to whatever someone has a reason to put in a trade, be like a trend line reason, that is also can called liquidity. It can be stop losses, of course. If someone gets stopped out, it becomes liquidated. If someone's limit order gets triggered, of course it's liquidated. And if someone's stop order, like a buy stop or sell stop gets triggered, that's of course also liquidity, right? So you have to keep that in mind. So therefore, stop losses has seen as liquidity. And in fact, if someone exits the market, someone else enters the market. It's always the same exact thing. That's why demand and supply levels exist in the first place, okay? So then the next thing, if we continue our cycle, liquidity, of course, is just the L inside lit, and it's 5% of we doing inside liquidity inducement theorem. It's very, very important to understand these liquidity zones though, because they actually give you the guidance of what should happen next and what you should expect next, right? So that's 5% of what we're doing. It seems very, very easy stuff, but it's definitely not. It's a whole curriculum by itself, right? And definitely you need to go into depth into that one hugely, okay? So that's how retailers using this liquidity though, because they all thinking they know what they're doing, right? And they think, oh yeah, I trade liquidity, I know what it is. But if they're talking about it like that, they look actually like that. You see their mouth is open. They're actually trying, right? They're trying really hard to actually get the stuff out of the liquidity or get the stuff, pretty much understand the liquidity. But guess what? If you can't see the liquidity, then you're the liquidity. That's one of my quotes, which is stolen like quite a bit. But yeah, it's exactly what it is, right? So if you cannot see it, you will become the liquidity, and liquidity is getting common as well. Like a lot of people trying to use it nowadays and try to teach it and whatsoever, but to understand it truthfully, that's obviously something different. So think about it like this. Every time there is a buy or a sell, people are matched up with opposite orders. So, and if you go back though and think about like how these markets are controlled and how they're actually manipulating everything, when is your money pretty much the only time when they have something out of that? It's only when you have a reason to actually move your finger to your mouse and execute an order and put pretty much your money inside the markets. So that means you need a reason, and technical analysis is exactly that. It's just giving you reasons in order to put your money inside the market, and then obviously you will lose it. It's not a secret that 90% of traders lose money inside this market because they're trading this retail stuff and don't know really what liquidity is and how to trade it properly, and so they're becoming the liquidity. Okay, and that's how you need to understand this liquidity concepts first in order to move away from that side. Okay, so what is the basic liquidity pretty much patterns? It's very easy stuff. So you have trend liquidity, you have breakout liquidity, you have the support resistance liquidity, and also smart money concept liquidity. And that is becoming huge. And by huge, I mean that thing will be the whole new retail liquidity, because so many people doing it nowadays. Everyone is trying to be a smart money trader. Everyone teaches this. There's hundreds of educators out there. So guess what? That's the easiest one of liquidity to identify. Okay, and we show you some smart money traps as well, so you can a little bit better understand it. So what is this smart money though? And again, a lot of people will be angry at me now. So guess what? Smart money concepts is more like an onion, right? Because if you think about it, an onion is not bad, but if you peel off the layers more and more and more, you will be like this. Because you will start crying because you uncover the harsh reality that it's not what everyone preaches, whatever, and it's not really that exactly everyone talks about. In fact, we programmed it, and obviously we have the data to back it up. So guess what we do? Before we implant any concept for ourselves, we test the shit out of that. And that's just an example of a full automated system JP, for example, programmed like a good while ago when we started to implant smart money techniques. So that's all the so-called points of interest of smart money, fully automated with rule sets. You see different colors of the boxes. That's just different rule set approaches. But as you can see, like 80% of all these so-called smart money points of interest, they fail. What do you realize, or what do you learn out of that though? That inducements are the keys, right? Inducements is the way to actually understand what is going on in order to actually get something out of that, right? Because if you're just finding to trend these random points of interest all the time, as you can see, 80% of them lose. That's why you need to dig way deeper into that. And that's what we did with all our trading pretty much approaches. We test them and then find rules to it. However, though, doesn't mean this stuff doesn't work at all. It just looks more like this. So like retail concepts can work as well. Same thing with smart money concepts. They can work. And as you can see, this guy is striving as well. But guess how he's striving? He obviously is moving forward. That's nothing bad. But I don't think that's the way to drive like your motorcycle, right? So the key here is that you need to combine it with multiple different confluences of events in order to get the best out of that. So if you want to trade these points of interest, you need to combine it obviously with a lot of different stuff. Okay. So if you move further now we can include advanced structure. Okay, so advanced structure means we know a little bit better like what breakout structures are. We know understand the concept of liquidity a little bit better. We're seeing that they're building up the buy trends here. Now we're getting finally the main breakout structure. What are they doing here? Right, of course, they're building up a little bit of liquidity. You're identifying your valid demand zone. After a breakout structure, guess what? First inducement sweep to the wrong side and taking out liquidity here, entering the demand zone. You refine the whole thing with a liquidity imbalance zone. And that makes sense now. You're refining it way more, right? So of course, builds up a trend. Then again, breakout traders getting induced, all these reasons for people to entering the trades, right? Now you're having a final breakout structure, then building up orders to the first right side, but then of course, getting back, stopping them out and tapping into the demand zone finally. And that's now a reasonable zone to enter these setups and trades, because now you're building the sense into the whole scenario slowly with basic understanding, right? So what do you do next? We dig into the finally the inducements, right? So what is inducements? Of course, like it's you heard it a lot. A lot of people try to copy it as well. They don't really know what they're talking about. But anyways, they use it a lot though. They use the word a lot, so that's funny. Anyways, so inducement, if you just type it in Google, right? It's very interesting because it actually says a thing that pursues or leads someone to do something. Okay, or it also can be a bribe, which is very, very interesting. In other words, people are induced to do things all the time in the market, right? And that's why liquidity is created, in order to, first of all, stop people out, and on the other side, make people enter a trade. Because again, if you enter a trade, you're putting your money inside the markets. You're getting your reason, right? And kind of getting induced. But if the moment you know what an inducement is, you pay attention to these type of scenarios, you wait for them, and then you react after that, right? So the inducement, that is really actually the key to the whole thing. Combine that with liquidity, combine it with cycles, combine it with market understanding, combine it with the basics and the foundations, and you will have a very, very good time. So how can these inducements look like in a very, very, very easy overview? So you have continuation inducements, right? So where, of course, you have an uptrend. This is a valid point. It makes a new higher high. What do everyone expect? Tapping in here, making like this, continuation zone. But guess what the inducement does? It breaks the zone first, fakes like the break of structure to the downside, and then continues higher. Right, so this is already an inducement because it induces to the wrong side, stops people out who are actually looking for the buy side in here because the stops is below in this area, right? So that it can continue. So one of my best quotes I love to say is always, in order to push price higher, it has to induce low first. And that's how they can play with the liquidity all the time, because that's exactly how they're doing it. They induce low. Oh, where's my pen? Oh. They induce low, and then they continue higher, right? Same thing in here. If it's a reversal, they induce high first to get even more liquidity to the wrong side, and then obviously they push further. Of course, the whole inducement, that's, I could talk like hours and hours about just its concept. Of course, we have a whole full curriculum about inducements in our bootcamp, because there's minor, mediums, major inducements, there's internal, externals. There's so many different variations to the whole inducement concept. And of course, we teach them inside our bootcamp, okay? So if we move further though, we're almost there, because now we finally can getting our points of interest. We're actually looking for trading opportunities. We can get points of interest out of structure, right? So what does that mean? So if you have a main push, main structure, first of all, you need to identify what's the main structure and then what's the internal structure. So everything that is between inside here is called obviously internal structure. At the moment price breaks the main structure again, the push that led to this break of structure can for sure become a valid point of interest. Why? Because it needs liquidity to push price higher, and that starts from here, or the extreme of this push that led to the main break of structure, which is this one. So you have already two valid zones of points of interest you can use and then refine with the imbalance and everything And that's how you can use structure to get valid zones. So use structure breaks and then take the push that first of all led to the break of structure, and then take the extreme, and now you out of a sudden only have 2 valid zones you can look for, right? Then you can have points of interest with inducements. So that pretty much means this point in here grabbed liquidity to the downside. Same thing here, they're building up liquidity, grabbing it, mitigating this zone which grabbed liquidity anyways, and this zone does the same exact thing. Grabs liquidity, mitigates in here, and that's now a valid zone you can look for the future as well for mitigation zones, right? Same thing for reversal. If they're building up liquidity to the upside, now they're giving momentum switch, liquidity swept to the upside. Now you're having a valid break of structure. This zone 100% can become a valid point of interest because this push is the inducement, and that also can lead to a valid point of interest, right? So now the journey has been long. It's time for the treasure, obviously. And then finally, you can putting all together to unlock pretty much a treasure. And that is when you put everything together in order to actually get trading ideas. And that's how you should, on a basic side of it, you definitely get valid zones in order to understand. Well, that always leads to 1 to 10 risk rewards whatsoever if you do it in that steps. Identifying the structure, first of all, seeing where they're building the false trend, seeing where the inducement is, seeing where they grab liquidity, then refine the zone with the imbalance, find the demand zone, find the inducement zone, refine it with imbalance, the more extreme entry, wait for the internal structure be broken, identify your structure the right way, get the valid break of structure of the main structure, wait for the next liquidity build-up, wait for the wrong inducement low side, wait until they grab the liquidity higher in order to go lower, then come back to the demand zone and refine it with the imbalance. And then finally, you have your trading point of interest, and can you stop loss goes above. And that's how you easily, if you just follow these steps, that's pretty much the key map to find 1 to 10 risk reward ratio, just with the basic understanding of all the concepts we just gave you. Okay, so the overall map looks like this, right? And you should definitely use that for your foundational bias in order to find all the points of interest and then get your basic entry. Okay, so start with the supply demand zones, find your imbalances, see if it's a continuation reversal. Then you do multiple time frame analysis. Then you do your structure basics. Then you identify the order flow. Then you see again if it's a continuation reversal. Then you're finding your liquidity. Then you're continuing with the advanced structure, break of structures, internal structure, structure breaks, point of interest. Then you're waiting for your inducement. Then you're refining your points of interest again with the imbalances. And then finally, you can execute a trade. And that, in most cases, leads to very, very solid trades. And that's exactly how you should trade smart money the right way with just basic understanding. But guess what? That's just minor stuff we're doing. Everything you see in here, that's about 10% of what we're doing inside Lid, because you need so much more stuff in order to actually accomplish a little bit further stuff. But anyways, if you want to get this kind of guidance in terms of PDF, you're more than welcome to do so. Just give it a quick break and just make a quick story about this map. Just tag me in your story whatsoever and tag Lit Trading, and then we will send you this whole guide. So if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to do so. Just make a quick story, tag me in Lit Trading, and then we will send you the whole PDF about this mastery or pre-lit mastery map, and you will have the guidance to do so. Okay, just make a quick snippet, and let me just get a quick sip of water because I'm talking so much. What's Minster? It's RemFX. All right. So just tag me, Lit Trading, and we will send you the PDF. Okay. Awesome. So how you like the guide? Love it. And that's the thing. It actually can lead to valid, easy 1 to 10s. And there's a lot of people who actually get funded just with that stuff alone. So don't underestimate it. It's definitely very, very awesome and also powerful stuff. The funny thing is, it's 10% of what we're doing. So just use that, get to a good stage, understand the basics, build a good foundation, and then obviously make the jump into the way more advanced route and go obviously with the stuff we will show you next. And obviously what we have in prepared with Lit, because we gave you the foundations, we gave you the basics, we gave you the checklist about everything. But obviously in order to build like a proper house, you need the foundation. There you have it, you're welcome. There you have your foundation, your guideline. If you want the PDF, obviously just tag us in a quick story and we will send it to you, okay? And anyways, because if you don't have a pretty foundation, obviously you cannot build a house on top of that. So you need to make sure that you have a good foundation first, because what we will do obviously in the future with lit trading, obviously you need a good foundation, right? Because you want to build a cost lab on that, and the stuff we're doing is way more advanced than the stuff we just showed you, and that's a lot of stuff if it needs to be included. So of course you need to need good foundations first, and there you go. Use the map we gave you and make sure to do so. Very, very important question though, okay? A lot of people actually got confused with is, do you need any other course before you join Lit though? Question, and the answer is actually no, because we give you all the foundational stuff you need obviously inside our bootcamp as well. We give you everything in terms of guidance, checklists, rule sets, tools, even templates, every stuff pretty much you need in your journey you will have inside Lit, right? Okay, because a few people asking still how to get the guide, just make a quick story and tag me and Lit Trading, and we will send it to you, because we get notified if you make the story, and we just send it to you then, okay? And again, what we just showed you, the guide or the basic master map, which a lot of you already, obviously it is amazing, no doubt about that, but think about that. That is 10% of what we do. 10% of what we do, right? It's already been 11 steps you need to do, and that's 10% of what we do inside Lit, okay? Because you obviously guess, as you can imagine, in order to trade like this, you need way more, right? It's not like done with just like supply demand zones, like break of structures, not another. Obviously, that's awesome to know, awesome to know and understand, right? But of course, you need more than that, okay? So guess what? You already know that I can trade like this, but it's not about me. It's about like the students and actually get them there, right? Because of course, I can show you a lot of stuff. Why would I have like a whatever mentoring if the students couldn't do the same exact thing? So guess what? This is a chart of this Friday, okay? So this is literally this Friday of EU on the 1 minute chart, okay? So let's see how our students actually approach this just in EU, in just 1 day, in just a 1 minute. And that's literally the outcome of the students. So every single push you see in there is backed with rule sets, checklists, guidelines, everything. Everything you see, these trades, they took them. But again, I can tell you a lot. First entry from a student, second one, that's one, there's another one, that's another one. Like every single push you can see students taking. So it's not about me anymore. It's literally about getting this to the students, because we have way bigger goals than that. So every little trade or push there is in the markets, you can trade, and at least someone took it. So if you're actually serious about that stuff, of course, we have all the rules that I mean, it always seems to be good to be true. It's so impossible whatsoever. But as you can see it inside our community and students doing this on a daily basis, it's definitely possible, of course, right? So, and again, if a lot of people can do it, you can do the same exact thing, and everything is backed up with guidance and checklists and rule sets, templates, and whatsoever. However, though, we offer more than education. As you already know in the beginning, we do so much more for pretty much for everyone else in this industry, educational side of things. It's their end goal. If they give you the best education or whatever, good education, then they're good with that. So they're happy with that and they end there. For us, it's literally the foundation, because we build so much more stuff with Lit And obviously we call it the lit futures, and JP talked a little bit about it, like AI approaches, building so much further tools about everything, giving students the access to all these tools, templates, and also being at some point part of the bigger plans we're having for a community, be it hedge fund industries, also like these machine learning approaches and all this different stuff. And there's so much more. And also we build like apps around it. We made the whole thing a fun experience. We had like this so much fun about everything you need to know, and yeah, just being more than just educational side to it, right? And of course, if you see it like this, obviously you start out with the education, the whole experience, then you move further inside the community, right? So what we do with the community is obviously something very different as well. Then we use technology to make even more advanced tools, apps, artificial intelligence, more and more stuff, which actually improves your learning journey and all the stuff. We have like challenges inside the community, everything like that. Okay. And of course, you should get funded or at least get to the level you're happy with. And then, of course, we head to the lit futures, but then the real door opens to way more stuff in the future, right? As you can see, it's 100% lit Illuminati, right? So 100%, like, there you go. Illuminati confirmed for sure, right? So anyways, for the guys who actually are interested in lit and want to learn a little bit more and want to learn way deeper than that, if you want a quick sneak peek about what we do, of course, we can do so, right? If you're just here for the free education, I hope you learned a lot, because again, you will have the guidance for everything. We give you the list, you get you the PDF, but obviously now I want to show you some stuff about lit as well. So if you're happy with that, we can do so, right? So what are we doing inside lit? So we're having a 6-day live event, okay? So everything we'll do is live, right? And we do it over a period of 3 weekends, right? And every day average around 6 hours of content, and every day will be 8 hours long, right? Because we have a lot of concepts to cover, and obviously the days need to be very long in that sense. We're making breaks in between, right? So first of all, we're starting with the true reason in the market. We call it the wake up Neo. Your journey begins, right? That's where you pretty much introduce you how these markets really work. We gave you like a slight introduction at the beginning, what the money aspect of trading is, how the markets really work. But obviously, we tell you exactly who's in control, how they actually putting these charts inside these markets, what tools they're using. We call it the Enigma, right? That's obviously an encrypting tool of how they're using everything and pretty much delivering price in a manner to induce as much people as possible, right? Of course, yeah, the well-spoken Enigma, right? And of course, we dig into trading psychology, liquidity, obviously give you all the basics you need, right? And of course, we dig way deeper than that. We go straight into smart money traps. You, of course, need to unlearn, relearn, and improve a few things, because a lot of people have still like a few false belief systems, maybe false habits, maybe false whatsoever. So we need to unlearn that stuff and give you the right reasons. We also dig into the market intentions, is one of the most important things ever, because the market intentions actually give you the whole directional bias, and also, of course, inducement basics at day one already. We also give you session guides, timing powers. We have every setup we have is also timing aspects to it, right? So every setup obviously is a full checklist and guidance whatsoever. Day 2 will be then, of course, digging way deeper into material. We give you so many chart examples. We also tell you the lit cycle, right? You know, I'm a cycle trader. We have the daily cycle, we have the lit cycle, we have an intraday cycle. Of course, we show you all this liquidity inducement theories and concepts. Of course, we teach you the inducements the right way. That's the whole curriculum. In day 2, you get that, of course, as well, right? And of course, we show you how to trade the real smart money, of how you actually combine the whole thing. What is market structure? We give you so many top analysis. Of course, my daily cycle, the whole thing is included in there as well. We show you so many different variations to the theme. We also show you what the magic manipulation is, right? And also the full daily cycle, intraday traps. And we give you already basic checklists, how we did it, for example, with this guideline, with the map type of thing, right? Of course, you get normal checklist as well. And then finally, you're getting access to Discord group as well. We did things a little bit different because we don't want to throw you in like a big random ass community where you're just a number, like a big community and doesn't mean anything. We want to make sure that you're getting the best out of that. That's why we, for the first 3 weeks, only make you a private Discord group with a maximum of 10 people. So no matter where you are in the world, we will make sure that you have a maximum of 10 people in the same time zone as you, which you can become friends with, you can exchange notes, whatsoever, you can, whatever, do everything with them together, just have friends in your journey, which are side and side on you, and you can learn and improve together. And then after the 3 weeks, you will get access to the full Discord. We have all the access to the other members. You can see everything in there. We have the winning sections, everything in there, right? And of course, we will give you also some tools already in day 2. And you also need to accomplish tasks because it's already a lot of material we covered so far. And we need to make sure that you obviously understand what we taught you in order to improve from there. So that's why we need to accomplish some tasks, send that to us, and we will check if you actually get it or not. And then, of course, we can continue the next weekend, right? So then when we dig into like a quick recap, obviously we do some recaps to cover the concepts again, and then we're adding some real meat to the whole thing because we're adding so much confluence. We call it the confluences of events. For example, as we showed you with the points of interest, you can trade them, but you need to add a lot of different stuff in it. And that's exactly what we need to do. We need to take so many concepts and combine them all together and put everything together with tools, checklists, rule sets, guidance, whole things, right? Everything needs to be included. And then also we give you something we call an entry helper. That's a tool we build in order to make sure you understand the entries better and have more certainty and more confidence about actually taking the trade, because that tool will actually confirm the trade for you. Okay. Then we also show you what LETs are and EDMs. That's 2 setups we teach inside our bootcamp. Very, very powerful stuff. Them literally tens of them every single day. So you will always have enough trading opportunities every single day, that's for sure. And of course, even way more, we have cup trades, which are daily occurring setups, fully backed up with trading plans, guidance, checklists, and also tools. And also we have 5 different trading approaches, be it the more extreme route with limit orders, stop orders, whatsoever, or even market executions. We have 5 different trading approaches, how you can enter those setups. And of course, we show you all of them. And of course, we show you the creme de la creme, which is the inducement trade. Then, of course, the trades you see on my Insta, for example, right? That's the inducement trades. To show you them as well. And also, we merging concepts because, as you already know, it's a cooperation between myself, JP, and also WWA, and they jumping in and show you their side of trading as well, combined with all these concepts we teach you before that, right? Because again, it doesn't matter if you want to swing trade or intraday mastery whatsoever, or like different approaches, you can actually pick your style. For example, if you like swing trading, then follow Waka a little bit more, or sorry, Wally, right? If you like additional informations or additional confluences, then you follow Dr. Sim a little bit more. If you like structured trading, then you follow Alex a little bit more. If you like the full intraday mastery, then you can follow me a little bit more. If you like programming aspects to it, then you follow JP a little bit more. If you like additional services, you can follow Suck a little bit more, right? Stuff like that. So you actually can pick your style and then go with that one, right? So it's not that we have one simple approach you need to do. No, we have different styles. You can actually choose which one works best for you. Then on day 4, we pretty much make the jump from an additional, pretty much, how to say, like becoming a hobby trader to actually becoming a professional trader. Because you need to understand that you need trading plans, habits, and also checklists in order to make the jump. Because if you treat trading like a hobby, guess what? It will pay you like a hobby. But if you actually treat it like a business, it will pay you like a business. That's why the whole day 4 is about pretty much giving you a trading plan, habits, and checklists around your situation. Because maybe you have, obviously, you should have a life. Maybe you have like a family. Maybe you have like 3 wives and 15 children. And you don't have so much time to spend in the charts. And you need to adjust your trading style, obviously, to your life, right? And that's why we find out what works best for you, which setups you should focus on, which checklists are work best for you, which cup trade you choose, which approach you like better. Do you like swing trading? Do you like whatsoever? And that's pretty much an own individual trading plan for you. And we just show you how to create that, right? To make the jump to a professional route. And of course, we give you also access to a tool we built, which is called the execution helper. That's a whole tool that gives you a proper risk management ever. There should never ever be an excuse about not using proper risk management, because that's the tool. Doesn't matter if it's a limit order, stop order, or market execution, the risk management will be always perfect on point with this tool. Okay, that's from MT4, MT5. It's always accessible. Of course, we get entry access to that as well, and we show you also how to use that. And of course, you will get access to the entry helper and all that stuff, and also another work task, because then the fourth day is over, and then we move into the last weekend, right? Which is then the full smashing, the whole intraday mastery, putting everything together. We show you so much more stuff. We show you multiple examples of how the stuff I showed you earlier, of how we trade. You will understand literally every single trade of them. You will understand the pretty much the why, the how, the where, everything. Every trade we show you will have the full checklist, the full guidance, the full rule sets, the full templates, the full everything for the whole thing. So there will not be one single trade you see either on my Insta or the WD Insta, wheresoever, which you will not at least understand. And being honest with you, trading it is a different thing, but at least you need to start with understanding it. And if you understand it, then you practice it, you practice it more, and then obviously you're working towards that goal to trade like that. Obviously, you saw from the students, it's definitely achievable. It's just a process. We give you all the reasons you need, and you will understand everything. Everything is backed up, again, with guides, tools, everything you need in order to make sure you get to this stage, right? So how can you get involved though? So what you can do and what you need to do, you need to go to littrading.com, and then you need to fill out a request, because again, we're very, very picky with our students, because the stuff we're sharing with our community, that's not meant for the public. I'm being very honest. We need to choose the people we pretty much want to give this knowledge, because that's not meant to be released, right? That's why we also have an NDA in place, and we only want to work with the people we actually see the potential in. And that's why we have like a request formula you need to fill out properly and make sure that that's serious, because we will obviously choose if you want to work with you or no, depending on that request. So if you go to the website, you just fill out the request, and then you will get a confirmation email if the request is good or no, right? And then of course you can book a call with us, and then we get a personal pretty much view of you. And then of course we have a call together and just go over a few things. We go over your goals a little bit. We actually want to know you better, because we want to know you, right? So that's not like a random payment link or whatsoever. No, we actually want to get in touch with you. We want to make sure you're actually getting something done, right? And then of course, after that, you get some onboarding right after the call. And then of course, you're just waiting for the first weekend, and then you're getting fully implemented to that, right? So in general, what we offer with Lit is 2 packages. Okay, so we have a gold packet and we have a VIP ticket. So let me start with the VIP ticket first, because as you already know, and as you probably noticed, it's a lot of material. Everything is a live event. It's not, recordings are not allowed and stuff like that. There's obviously for security reasons and everything, right? So it can be a little bit challenging to get all the information done in one go. Of course, we make sure that you get everything you need. Obviously, we have like a refresher call, we have like Q&A calls, we have all the guidance, checklists, tools, templates, everything you need in order to actually grasp it the right way. However, we want to give a few selected people also the chance to become a VIP student. What does that mean? If you're a VIP student, you also get access to our tool we build, or a system we build, which is the Vault system. JP talked about it earlier, right? So, and that gives you access to every single call we did in the past. That's literally 100-hour plus of material, everything in curriculums, modules, everything you need. You can rewatch it as much as you want. That shit is a whole gold mine. It's incredible, and you get access to that as well. Plus, of course, you have some special treatment in terms of like premium support assistance, right? You're having all these different features inside our community as well, right? And that's the VIP ticket. Of course, everything which is in the gold ticket is included in the VIP ticket as well. For the gold ticket, you're just getting the normal access to the 6-day live event, plus a refresher call, plus a Q&A call, right? You're getting, of course, full access to the Discord group. First, your private group with a maximum of 10 people. And after that, of course, the private group will always stay, but then you're also getting the full access to the normal Discord, right? Of course, there's everything included, having all access to all the tools. Of course, we give you all the templates, be it MT4, MT5, and also trading view templates. Very important because most people use trading view nowadays, right? We give you access to the entry helper. We give you the execution helper. We give you all the rule sets you need for every setup. We give you all the checklists. We give you the trading plans. You have access to us in the Discord as well. You have access to the community. And also, as we have a ranking system, the moment you're getting a blue belt, which is the second stage, we also have an ad. We're officially partnered up with TradingView. So we're having our own backtesting tool in TradingView. It's very similar. You can use for challenges or whatsoever. You get access to that as well, right? So that's all included in the gold package. So if you want to get included, just make sure to go to the website. You can send the link in as well. Let me just write it in the chat. Oh, JP, can you send it in the chat?
Yeah,
because
sure.
you know my multitask is not there.
Oh yeah, it's in
It's
process,
horrible,
right?
Exactly. So yeah, if you want to get involved with us, then definitely make sure to fill out the request, because it is very, very important to understand. Let me show you something additional, because that's very, very important as well. So first of all, we can have a Q&A section as well. So if you want some questions, just let us know. But first, before we dig into that, I just want to show you something. Because like all people like, oh, what's the bonus? Whatsoever? Can I get a bonus? I can tell you what. Okay, so first of all, it's the first ever time we're doing a lit public. We did a lit bootcamp in the past, of course. That was very strictly reserved for WWA students only. It was an exclusive event. It was not even meant for the public. It wasn't even announced, nothing. Very secretive event. Now it's the first ever time we're giving people the chance to be included from the outside, right? And as we did that, we got a lot of requests. So if I dig in the requests, you see my email account in here, or our support account, we have over 2,400 requests for this September bootcamp. Okay, so your bonus is that we actually get back to you for sure. Okay, so if you fill it out now and everything, we have your request, then obviously we will get back to you, right? So because we will have the dedication for the next week, that we get back to everyone and make sure you're getting the fair chance to get involved with us as well. Okay, so you fill everything out, go to the trading, just fill it out properly, and we will send you an email. You book a call with us, and then of course we will get in touch with you. And who's that guy throwing out in the chart? Crazy. Okay, so anyways, have we any questions about anything? Because of course we want to cover a lot of stuff. Pricing and everything, of course, we want to let you know first in order to do stuff like that. So you will know everything if you fill out the requests, and obviously when you get in touch with us. Okay. Lit includes WDA, of course. Like we have the basics and everything. Of course, the mentors of WDA are inside Lit as well. All right, so you will not miss them. Okay, a lot of stuff. So, oh shit, that's actually okay. I need to follow up on that.
Yeah, Raymond, I'm just going to quickly add. So with regards to the next steps, if you guys are interested in getting involved, you guys see me okay? I can't see myself. Anyway, so yeah, if you guys would like to get involved, obviously there's the multi-part series in terms of interviewing and everything. So just to outline that a little bit more, the first step is obviously getting involved with regards to filling out the form on the website. And as Raym has already showed you, there's 2,400 requests already, filled out forms. Before we've even announced it, we haven't made a post, we haven't really promoted or anything. And now obviously with the 1,000 people on this call, plus the people that didn't make the call, we know that we're going to get a lot of these inquiries. And for you to stand out, you need to fill it out correctly and seriously so that we can, review your application. And then once we have, moved on from that stage, then you, with our team of student success managers, with our team of student success managers, we'll have an interview process. And in that interview process, a quick 20-minute interview where they'll get to know you a little bit more, make sure you're a right fit for us, make sure we can help you best. And then after that, you'll have a call with myself, Wiley, Alex, Raym, or JP, the whole educator team, to make sure everything is in place before you can onboard. And the reason for that is, as Raym said, it's not for everybody. It's not meant for the public. It's a very exclusive, premium, intimate product, and therefore we want to make sure the right caliber of individuals are joining us. So there's a whole process of onboarding in that sense.
So how the fuck do I turn it off? Yeah, people can't throw on there. It's crazy.
So maybe just if you're finished, just stop sharing screen. There was a few.
Insanity. There you go. So okay, let me just, because there's so many questions, I actually underestimated the questions a little bit. Yeah, there's always kids drawing on the screen. It's funny, right? So yeah, and again, if you want the PDF about the master map, just make a whatever quick story and we send that to you as a PDF. So you have all the basic stuff in order to catch like these decent trades as well. And then of course you saw the 10% of what we do. And then obviously you will see that 90% of what we do very, very soon as well. So yeah, a lot of people already made the requests, I know. We also had a put, if you go to the website, it says you already filled it out. You just want to get in touch again. Just click this button and then we obviously will get back to you as well. Because we already have your request then. But for whatever reason, you maybe whatever fell in the process. So no worries, we will get back to you then. And also check your junk folder, right? Because yeah, sometimes the emails go straight in the junk. So just make sure you actually got the email there. Yeah, the price and everything, obviously, when we get in touch with you, we want to let you know, get to know you better and stuff. And then we talk about that stuff as well, right? And yeah, of course, everything.
I saw a question about the process again. So just to sketch it out one more quickly, you have an application form, which is the website. You click the link, you fill out the application as much detail as you can. And after that, once we have reviewed your application and we like it, if we feel like we could work with you, then you have with our team, we have 3 student success managers, have a quick 20-minute interview with you, and they have a whole script to follow, to questions to ask you, and then they'll report back to us. Once we have reviewed that, then the educator team will invite you for an interview. So it's a 3-part process, but for today, all you need to do is make the application on the website.
Yeah, and also very good question about the timing. So if you want to write it down, so that's in 2 weeks, right? So the weekend in 2 weeks. So next week is the normal WA bootcamp, and 2 weeks we have the lit bootcamp. But that's the 25th, 26th of September. So pretty much the last weekend of September. And then 2nd, 3rd October, 9th and 10th of October. That's the dates we have for this one. So it's really right around the corner. And then the next one only will be next year. So yeah, you know the stuff. A lot of stuff can happen in quarter year. So if you miss that one out, yeah, you're just wasting a lot of time. So yeah. The normal bootcamp, of course, we showed you like the normal bootcamp yesterday. Now you saw the lit bootcamp. So there's a huge difference, as you probably noticed. All right. So, okay, there's so many questions. It's hard for me to actually get them answered all. So yeah, and don't write the emails in here. Just fill out the request again, and we will get back to you then. And again, if you want the PDF, just make a quick story, whatever, tag us, right? Or I want Raim's pants or something like that, and we send you the PDF then. Yeah, just fill out everything, and you will have all the information if you do the requests. Okay. Yeah, we will do a lot of chart breakdowns like in the future. So no worries about that. We give you pretty much the basic guidelines of pretty much the whole foundation you need in order to catch like 1 to 10s, the step-by-step formulas, right? With just theory, but that's the steps you need to do. And yeah, obviously we dig into charts like very soon as well. Give you some proper chart work. Anyways, any impressions about the 2-day event? How was it? Did you enjoy it? Did you learn something? Did you get some value? Enjoy the whole process? How do you like lit? How do you like the whole thing? Just let me know. I always love to hear what you guys think. Love it.
I'm just seeing some questions regarding people who have already joined WWA and want to also do lit. That's absolutely fine. And in that case, what you'll need to do is message our admin team and they'll organize a package deal for you. So you won't have to pay the full price, but you get a little bit of a discount for doing both and then having the full experience and be part of the full ecosystem. But I know because I read a few messages earlier today in my DM as well. But yeah, just get in touch and we'll organize all of that with you.
Yeah, and of course, like a few people, like of course we cannot share like the deep knowledge in like a public webinar. I think we did pretty good about giving you the whole guidelines about the basic mastery, but of course the whole nuggets and all the daily cycle stuff, the whole inducement stuff, of course everything is hugely included inside the whole curriculum. It's like a heavy, so if you like whatever the stuff we did today, like it's literally 100x. So yeah. The main difference between WWA and lit, pretty much again, like WWA gives you like a very good smart money approach, and lit is just a very advanced approach about the pretty much knowing, understanding the stuff you see on my Instagram. You will have all the reasons, timing aspects, like all the checklist guidelines, like the when, the where, the how, the where of the market, the who is in control whatsoever, like all the intraday mastery. That's more about the lit, right? So yeah, that's definitely the two packages. So that's the normal VIP ticket and the gold ticket. You can talk about it both in the calls. Just fill out everything.
I'm seeing a lot of the questions as well, Raymond, regarding the differences. If you'd like to understand a bit more of the differences between the WWA call concepts and then the liquidity inducement theorem, just look at, for example, the Instagram page, the WWA trading Instagram page. All of those case studies, all of those trades you see are within the curriculum of WWA trading. For example, also the case studies on YouTube, the YouTube channel. Now, if you want to see more of this intraday stuff that, as Raymond showed you today, the more up and down intraday, specializing in that, go look at his posts on Instagram as well. You'll see that there's a different methodology and approach. But that would be the best way for you to understand what is the difference.
Awesome. Yeah, of course, the whole, whatever I call it, ping pong style, of course, like everything is taught inside, like lit, of course. Like that's literally, and we showed you the students' trades, I showed you like my trades, of course. Like, yeah. But it's, again, as I told you, it's not about me anymore, about whatever the educators, it's more about what the actually students getting out of the whole thing. And as you can saw, like literally, they're going insane. It's just crazy. So yeah, the daily cycle and stuff, you will never find stuff like out there because of course we have like a lot of security measures in place. So yeah, don't worry about that. Like we have everything secured. That JP can talk about a little bit as well if you want, JP, just to make sure that people don't think like they can wait it out for something leaks or shit like that, because that will never happen. So
yeah, really good luck to those that do, because there's other law prohibitants and we can identify you immediately. Like I said, this is never seen before or done before technology. So all I can say is no, it's secure, and our students feel safe. We had our students even test it within the community. They even played around, and we played like a little game to see, you know, how we can improve it over time. And we improved it so dramatically, and our students are so happy because our content can't get distributed, which keeps us safe, obviously. So it's all good.
oh yeah, so definitely not be worried about it. And if you're waiting for any leaks, you're just wasting your time like fully. So bad news then. Anyways, like the whole knowledge, of course, like everything is human insta, the stuff, the whole, the craziness, the madness, that's all taught inside lit. You can ask any of our students whatsoever. Like every trade I take, that's obviously students understand it. So yeah, if you want all these reasons, there you go. Awesome. Yeah, maybe we do like a little bit more of an advanced call in the future again, where we dig actually into charts and stuff. But I think the theoretical approach is very important as well to give you like the guideline, the foundations and stuff. But yeah, maybe we do like another one in the future. But I think this guideline call, whatever, is very important as well, because it's a step-by-step formula. You just follow the steps, right? You just do exactly what we show you in the map. And again, if you want the map, just make a quick story, tag me in the story, tag lit trading, whatsoever. Can be whatever, and then yeah, we will just send it to you. And for everyone, we will see and catch you very soon in the calls. First of all, make sure to the steps, right? So first, fill out the request, go to littrading.com. It's, the link is also in my bio, right? I will make a story quick after. And yeah, of course, after then we see you in the calls, and then we see you very soon in the lit bootcamp itself, right? Will be some fun, get you to the best version of yourself. So yeah, that's it for me. So Walker, if you have something more to add on.
Yeah, just I was reading through the chat, just a couple more important questions. and realize that we've been doing this for a while. We've had so many students come through from different backgrounds, from all over the world, different levels of experience, a different level of commitment. For example, if they have family and kids versus if they're a full-time trader, we've seen it all. We've been asked all of the questions that you're writing now. So, and we've catered everything that we do in that way. So for example, I just saw a couple of questions regarding, hand-picked trades or something like that, or cherry-picked trades, our philosophy and our approach. And just as Raim showed you today, this day's price action that he showed you was EU on the most recent day there was, which is Friday. In the boot camps that we do, the examples and case studies we'll show you will not be from 2 years ago or the best trade from 1 year ago. It will be in the last month. And in the WW bootcamp, like, we could show you case studies from our YouTube channel, or whatever. But what we do is we show you from most recent live price action. Same with the liquidity inducement theorem bootcamp. It's going to be most recent live price action. And as he showed you as well today, it's not just us catching it. It's not just in theory. It's within our rule sets, within our teaching, within our scope, and then also what students are catching themselves, as each push in EU on Friday was caught by somebody in the community. And in terms of security, aside from that, aside from all the software and the things that JP has mastered up for us, there's obviously the legal side as well. You will have to sign a non-compete and an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. But with regards to all of these kind of common questions I'm seeing, first of all, just get involved, fill out the link, fill out the question in the link, and we'll get back to you. Also, you have a chance to ask our team, our student success managers. You'll have an interview with them. You can ask them questions. And then also you'll have a call with us, the educators. And in that, you can also, any doubts, any queries you have, we'll be there to answer them on a one-to-one basis. But yeah, for today, just get involved if you are interested to take your trading to the next level. And it's been a pleasure, guys. A lot of people hung around to the end. That's nice to see. And yeah, from me as well, thank you very much, and see you in the next one.
Awesome. So just a quick one. Here's the link again. Before you close, just click the link and enjoy. See you very, very soon. I hope you got some value. And if you think that was nice and whatever, yeah, just wait for the bootcamp because it will be insane. So have a good one, everyone. Enjoy the Sunday.
Take care, guys.
And we catch you up soon, very soon. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.